Hello and welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. The last time, remember, we cleared the first chapter. So let's get into the second chapter of our next case. Like so.
We don't want no fuss and we don't want to hurt you, all right?
Yeah, we just want your money, that's all.
And you'll give it to us, won't you, without any fuss?
And now we enter Chapter 2. The Fire Witch. Part 1. What is this place? The room's lit, but still somehow dark. And that atmosphere feels...
Nick! What are we doing in a place like this?
How should I know? We're just a couple of bakers, but I don't think they brought us here to make bread. Is it me or is that guard staring daggers at us right now? Mr. Wright! Maya!
Huh, Espella. What's exactly going on? I'm sorry. I was the one who sent for you both.
You sent for us?
I'm being put on trial.
Wait, what? What happened?
I don't know. I just don't understand what's going on. I didn't do anything wrong. I couldn't possibly murder anyone. Murder? I beg you, Mr. Wright, please, I need your help. Just one more time.
Huh? You need my help? What can I possibly do? Espella, I'm just a baker. The only thing I know about law is how not to get on the wrong side of it.
Wait, hold on a sec. Espella? What did you just say? You said you need Nick's help just one more time?
One more time? Ichido?
I'm not quite sure myself, but when the knights came and took me, a vision suddenly appeared in my mind. It was Mr. Wright. He was fighting for me, defending me. That brave blue figure, it was clear as day.
I was fighting for you. No way. That's impossible. I mean, it's like I already said. I'm just a baker. I have a hard enough time rolling dough, let alone defending someone in court.
I thought the same thing too at first, but I don't think that's quite true. You and Maya had some time somewhere. You helped me. bought for me as a defender.
Defender?
What's wrong, Nick?
I wish I knew, Maya. But hearing Espella mention a defender? I can't help but feel something inside of me just burning at the mention of it. Accused! Defender! It is time! Head forth, you two.
Head forth? Where are we going exactly?
To the courtroom in which today's trial will be taking place. The Chamber of Fire.
Chamber?
Of fire? Make haste. If you are but a moment late, a guilty verdict will be delivered immediately.
What? No way! Mr. Wright. I'm truly sorry, Mr. Wright. I know this all is so sudden. It's a lost cause, isn't it?
Well then, let's head inside, Espella. This overwhelming pressure feels so familiar somehow. Almost like deja vu.
Mr. Wright.
Let's go, Maya. Maybe we'll get a better idea once the trial gets underway.
All right, let's do it to it, Nick.
What is this heat? It's like an oven in here.
I will now pronounce the verdict. This court finds the accused guilty of being a witch.
Damn!
So this is the witch's court.
So how are you feeling, Nick?
I'd forgotten what this felt like up until now.
Huh?
The butterflies in my stomach and tension so thick you could slice it with a knife. All of these things. These are all feelings that I'm definitely familiar with. Anyway, we're here to fight for Espella and get her out of this place.
That's right.
The court is now in session for the trial of Espella Cantabella. Defender.
Yes, Your Honor?
Yours is a face I've not seen in any past trials. But no matter. Start by stating your name, Defender.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Phoenix Wright, Ace Baker.
A baker?
I asked him to come, my lord. I want him to represent me. This court dictates that the accused is free to assign a defender of their choosing, my lord.
Very well. At any rate, the result of this trial shall not change. That aside, I've not yet seen hide nor hair of the Inquisitor assigned to this trial.
Inquisitor? Oh, right. I should have noticed earlier. No one's there.
Should the assigned Inquisitor fail to appear in court, I will have no choice but to dismiss all charges. He is an Inquisitor of high caliber, but if he does not come forward soon, this trial will end, and victory will then be declared in favor of this baker. Hold it! of the court, I have but one question for you both. Are you prepared to cross swords?
I, Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum, am indeed prepared to do battle, my lord.
Something amiss, Baker?
Sorry, Your Honor, I just didn't realize we could have swords here in the courtroom.
It is the way of the court knight. A knight must always ensure that he rides with a blade at his side. Now then, state your name, Sir Blue Knight.
Huh? My name's Phoenix Wright. I'm a baker. How many times will you make me say it?
A baker?
Nick, quit with the long face. You look miserable.
No need to waste your breath. This trial will be over before you can utter a single objection. For the security of all of Labyrinthia, my blade shall rend your defenses swiftly and without mercy.
Rend asunder, sir. Rend asunder. That's it, Bottom! Put anyone out of their misery! This trial's pointless. Head down to Vertigo already! Put that doughy defender on trial too, I say. And Bailey? Bailey! Bailey! Oh boy. What's with all this excitement? You hardly think this was a courtroom. The crowd doesn't seem very interested in law, that's for sure. It's like they're all just hoping for a guilty verdict. Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin your opening statement. As you wish, my lord. First, let us begin by recounting the events leading up to the murder. Is that acceptable, Sir Apprentice Baker? As you wish. The murder occurred this very evening. Yesterday, there was heavy rainfall in the area. Eventually, it gave way to sunshine, which came just in time for today's parade. Although a few hours after the parade ended, the rain set in once more. That must have been where Espella and the others were at the Great Archive. It continued to rain until just before the incident, which took place on a small path leading to the market. The accused had been out doing some shopping at the market. She returned home on that very same path. And on that forest path, two rogues named Robs and Mugs, how very original, are said to have accosted the accused. One could assume the accused simply acted in self-defense. I see. Robs and Mugs, those two have appeared in court a number of times in the past. Two rogues, huh? So far, it may appear that the accused was more the victim. However, the situation soon changed. That's right, the accused, Espella Cantabella, knowingly and mercilessly murdered her two assailants.
Cantabella. That girl isn't she? Is she? I always knew she looked suspicious. Shh. That's allowed. Yikes! That weird excitement again.
I believe we now fully grasp what happened. It is getting late already. Let us begin the trial. Inquisitor Barnum, you may now begin. As you wish, my lord. The Inquisition will now hear eyewitness testimony regarding the night of the murder. Eyewitness testimony, huh? Looks like this trial's finally getting underway. I can't back now. Now, I have to fight. I'm just a simple bread-making baker, living a simple bread-making life. Ugh. This situation is more twisted than a pretzel, and I'm smack in the middle of it. But I have to do this to save Espella. Okay, let's see if I can untwist his testimony and put this thing to bed. You must have got that from Arthur's. Allow me to welcome you all. Now, would each of you please state your name and occupation?
Hold it!
Wait a minute! What's going on here? As I already explained, Sir Apprentice Baker, this is the eyewitness testimony. Yes, I understand that, but they're 4 witnesses! Indeed, there's many people inside the courtroom could pose a health and safety issue. Your Honor, that's not quite what I meant. Witness testimony is supposed to be done one by one, as in one witness at a time.
What are you talking about, child? We'd be alright if we did that.
That's right, young man. We have witnesses today and today reach out to us this evening.
Can we hurry this along, perhaps? These flowers function as themselves, as much as my boss wishes they would.
The path to knighthood is an arduous one, but I remain steadfast in my resolve as I travel down this long road. I shall not falter. I will be victorious. Sit your dumb ass down, dirt the daring. Okay, just question them all at once. You already know the girls in the cage did it. Let's get on with it. Yeah, finish this already. I'd like to go back home and get to bed. Witnesses, again, state your name and occupation. I do love the fact that they actually flesh out the actual courtroom pedestal. Like you normally see that in previous games, but they flesh this one out. I like that. I am known as wordsmith, but what is a name? Hold off one describe an occupation, like the bubbling of a babbling brook. I flow gracefully around the rocks and debris that is like natty worry in my mind. Right, so I guess that means he's jobless.
My name is Maddie, and this darling keeps Snowy. Snowy and I often travel to the edge of town to sell delicious fresh meat. Work like that doesn't happen overnight. I work my hands to the bone screech. Each drop out, literally. That is so suggestive, right there. That sounds pretty frightening. I'm cute. I'm a flower seller. If you would all be so kind, feel free to purchase one of my beautiful flowers at any time during the trial. There's no way I'll sell them all by morning. Oh, the life of a flower girl is so hard.
See Eric Gainsborough. Yeesh. Talk about a hard sell. My name's Nigel. I aim to join our town's order of knights. I studied night and day though, but I'm still a mere squire. Nigel Spritle. Nigel Spritle. That's the name I thought of. Spritle. Thank you. Speak race. Joining the Knights of the Inquisition is my life's ambition. And I, Nigel Spritle, will do whatever is necessary to join. So he's jobless too. Honorable witnesses, I ask that you show this court your best when delivering your testimonies. Now tell us exactly what you all saw on this ill-fated eve. Witness testimony. What we saw tonight. The delicious evening dinner created here a soft light shone faintly in the distance.
Bugs grabbed the girl by the arm, but almost pushed her to the ground. I heard a faint voice cry out. The next moment, those two vicious men burst off into flames.
There was not a trace of fire to be seen in the area. Without a doubt, magic must have been used. Sir Apprentice Baker, you may now begin your interrogation. I, for one piece of advice, I suggest you pay heed. Do not waste the court's time by grilling these witnesses over irrelevant nonsense, Sir Apprentice Baker.
Are you alright, Nick? They sure love calling you an Apprentice Baker, huh?
I'll be honest with you, Maya. I have no idea how I'm feeling right now. But I know it's all up to me. As her defender, Espella's fate's in my hands. I have to believe in her. I need to start believing in myself. I can do this. I believe Espella's innocent. And I'll fight until the end to prove it. I'm set protect.
Yeah, that's the spirit. We can do this thing, Nick.
Hold it!
What time would that be exactly? Dinner time. Where else would the scent of dinner be in the air if not dinner time, you see? Not so much. Sun had already set by that time. That should be adequate. The sun had already set. So you clearly witnessed what happened tonight. Is that correct? I've been dubbed to witness, as I must clearly have witnessed something, you see. In that case, how much light was there in the immediate area at the time? Enough to see the nose of my face, but not enough to see the trees ahead, you see. No, that doesn't add up. If the area was completely dark, then you couldn't possibly have witnessed anything. Do you see? Nevertheless, something caught my eye. It was a most ominous sight. Ominous is what that sight was. Okay, I get it. It was ominous.
Objection!
Poor form, Sir Apprentice Makeup. Huh? I hate to disappoint you, but there was, in fact, light in the area. Huh? Take a look at this. This is a drawing of the crime scene based on the witness's accounts as penned by the court illustrator. The court illustrator? Never heard of that before. Look carefully. This shows the scene. This shows what the scene looked like at the time of the murder. Administration of the highest quality. Now then, we've established that by the time the murder occurred, the sun had already set. And so, naturally, the defendant was carrying a firelit lantern, as we can see. Eureka! Indeed, that is what I was saying earlier. There was a lantern! A lantern, I say! Oh, please, you totally forgot. To be honest, I did not imagine it would be necessary to present this, but... My lord, here's the lantern in question. This is what was responsible for the light illuminating the area. Very well, the court accepts this into evidence. Speaking of which, Inquisitor Barnum, in this drawing, the accused seems to be holding a milk bucket of sorts. What became of this? That is a strange case indeed, my lord. That bucket seemingly disappeared from the murder scene. The milk bucket disappeared, you say? There has been talk of wolves living in the nearby forest. It is thought they often make off with the items they find on the ground. Great. Wolves that steal your stuff. Remind me to never set foot in that forest.
This is great, Nick. We've got new evidence now.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know, Nick, you really don't look like some normal run-of-the-mill baker. I say you're more like a somewhat articulate run-of-the-mill baker. I think you might even have a knack for being a defender.
There's a clear contradiction somewhere in our testimony, and I'm going to find it. 2 seconds. Really, sir? Then may I present this?
Objection!
What is the matter, defender? What is this feeling? I just felt the urge to shout out right from the bottom of my lungs while pointing my finger. Iggyari! I can't feel, but that's a word I've used quite a bit in the past. That's it. I remember now. I remember everything. The legal League of Attorneys exchange. Espella's trial. And then that strange book. This feeling. I feel like I could take on the world. Witness! What's with the sudden pointing? I am a soon-to-be member of the Honorable Knights of the Inquisition. I accept your challenge! How about you? You say that no fire was present at the scene of the crime, meaning the defendant must have used magic. Unfortunately for you, that is not the case. What do you mean, Sir Apprentice Baker? What I mean is that the defendant was, in fact, carrying a lantern containing fire. Those 2 robes were actually burned by the flame that was inside that lantern. That's the only logical explanation. What a startling conclusion you've come to, Sir Apprentice Baker. What do you mean? The only logical explanation. Do you agree with this statement, honorable witnesses? It is presumptuous for a man that knows nothing to claim that he knows something about which he really knows nothing. Eh?
Besides, how could one teeny tiny flame be strong enough to set them both ablaze like that? There were 2 of them. How could that flame engulf them so fast?
Furthermore, if they did burn as you claim they did, Do you mean to suggest that they were soaked in oil or something? Well, Sir Blue Knight, it would seem you have bitten off more than you can chew. Ah! I definitely didn't see that coming. What say you, my lord? Do you have any thoughts on the proceedings thus far? Given the testimony as we have heard it, this court has come to its conclusion. 'Twas a truly gruesome and merciless act, an act for which only one thing could be held responsible. The nefarious crime of magic.
Hold it!
Wait just a second! Is there something you have forgotten to mention, Defender? Not exactly, Your Honor. It's just that, I mean, you just said Mahol. Magic. That can't be right, can it? What are you suggesting, Sir Apprentice Baker? Witches use magic, which in turn brings about disaster. Such is the way this world is built. Well, yeah, I seem to be the case. But no way is that actually possible. This court finds Espella Cantabella, the accused, charged with being a witch. Espella? A witch's existence in this world is a crime in itself. To use and control magic is a criminal offense indeed. As such, any witch found practicing magic will be sentenced to death by fire. That's not how you spell practicing.
No, you're wrong. I'm not a witch.
Sir Apprentice Baker, I do not envy your current predicament. My lord, hand down your guilty verdict against this witch immediately.
Objection!
But there's no evidence to prove that any magic was really used. Put a shock in it, bread boy. We'll her cast a spell.
That's right. Snowy and I heard it. Isn't that right, Precious? We heard that incantation quite clearly. That frightening voice. There's no mistaking it. It was Espella's voice.
These ears do not lie. I clearly heard an incantation, most sinister. Ignite! It went. Incantation?
Ignite?
It's no good. I just can't wrap my head around this topsy-turvy underworld of court. Well, then it would seem the defense has no further objections. Now, I might be just saying this, but, you know, they spell differently. Like, we spell defense D-E-F-E-N-S-E. Old world style is D-E-F-E-N-C-E. Like, practicing, we spell with an S, not a C. I mean, we spell with a C, not an S. They spell with an S. I mean, they spell with a C. They spell with an S. We spell with a C. It appears so. The court finds the use of magic at the time of the murder to be an undeniable fact. Furthermore, the honorable witnesses have stated that they each heard an incantation being recited. The court finds no reason to delay its verdict any longer.
Nick, we have to do something.
I know, but what exactly can we say? Here in this world, our sense of logic is completely useless.
This court is ready to hand down its verdict for the case of Espella Cantabella.
Hold it. that the court hold its verdict a moment longer.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
I have something I believe will be of use to the defense. A weapon of sorts. That's the Grand Grimoire. All of this world's magic is contained within its pages. Without it, this trial cannot reach a satisfactory conclusion. The Grand Grimoire.
We meet again, Mr. Wright. Well, now it seems things are already afoot here. Although the real contest begins now. Are you fully prepared? So, are you here to help us?
Of course! Professor always helps people in trouble. It is the duty of every gentleman. Right, Professor?
Professor? There's a saying that I find quite useful in situations such as this. There's a time for words and a time for action. Right. You've been working as a baker in this town up until now, have you not? I must say, I'm a little mystified. I've expected you to be more familiar with this world and its system of magic. Yeah, how can I put this? I guess that's not quite the full story. Is that so? I kinda had an epiphany just now. I remember all sorts of things, like how I'm not actually a baker, and, well, how magic can't really exist. Then it would seem I was correct about you, Mr. Wright. You are not, in fact, a citizen of this town. Is that correct? Right. At least it seems that way. However, for now, we've no option but to accept this world and its rules as a reality. Without first understanding those rules, I'm afraid you will not be able to say Miss Canterbury. But things like magic only exist in fairy tales and make-believe. I'm afraid, Mr. Wright, it would seem magic does, in fact, exist in this world. Such truth cannot be denied. Indeed. That is why the Grand Grimoire is a weapon well suited for this witch trial. At the moment, you are tantamount to a knight without a sword. I feel more like an attorney without a chance, actually.
What then, Mr. Wright? Explain how the Grand Grimoire works. Have a look at the touchscreen. There you'll see the Grand Grimoire button.
Ignites. Infernal spell. Summons a circle of flame with 1 meter radius of the caster. Requires an incantation and scepter to cast.
Touching this button will open up the Grand Grimoire.
You'll be able to present spells from the Grand Grimoire in much the same way you would present evidence. This book will surely be a most important asset for us in this trial.
Oh, that reminds me. I've gone ahead and bookmarked the spelling knowledge for you.
Thank you.
Nice. That's the magic spell of all the witnesses they said they hurt, right? Nick, you should take a look at that spell.
All I have to do is touch the button, huh? The defender has been given more than enough time. It would seem this trial has reached its end. Is that understood, Sir Apprentice Maker? This case quite straightforward, with very little room for doubt. This is testimony coupled with the illustration of the time and the murder and makes it quite clear what must have occurred. This murder was the result of magic. And furthermore, the caster of said magic was none other than the accused. That, Sir Princess Bacon, is the truth. Best you go back to baking, for I believe your days in the courtroom have crumbled. Ah! Is everything okay, Mr. Wright? Yeah! It would seem that photographs do not exist in this world. Photos don't exist? Yes, that makes sense. Evil time period and all. The sketch drawn by the court illustrator. Therein lies your final chance, Mr. Wright. My final chance? I understand the witnesses have already finished their testimony, however, if you could perhaps find a clear contradiction within this illustration, there's another contradiction. In that case, there's still hope that I can turn this around.
Mr. Wright, you have to hurry! Look, the judge! He looks ready to deliver his verdict any time, any second now.
This is it. This is my last chance. What should I do? Point it out.
Hold it!
1 second, Your Honor. The defense requests permission to have another look at the court illustration. I think there might be a contradiction in there.
Objection!
You are already out of time. All testimony and evidence given thus far have proven to be accurate.
Objection!
I wouldn't be so sure, Inquisitor Bonham. There's just one thing you've overlooked. A piece of evidence within this book. The Grand Grimoire! Absurd. I overlooked something. You are the defender here. You should have examined the tomb earlier. You're right. I should have. But unfortunately, I was nothing but a simple baker until just now. Interesting. You have certainly begun to show your true colors, sir. Right. Let us see what type of knight you truly are. How about you? The defender now shows the supposed contradiction. The court illustration and the Grand Grimoire. Somewhere there's a contradiction between those two. I've got to find it. This is my last chance. Defender uses magnifying glass to locate the point of relevance. Then reveal to the court the location of this contradiction. Well, just making sure. And there we go. Well, there you go.
Got it!
The contradiction's right here. The hand of the accused. She seems to be holding a lantern. What is your point? According to this tome, using the spell Ignite requires the use of the witch's scepter, as well as an incantation. Isn't that right? Correct. For witches to use magic, they must be in possession of a witch's scepter, also known as a Tea Magica. If that's the case, then there's one thing that doesn't add up. Take another look at Miss Cantabella's hands. Tell me, do you see the witch's scepter in either of her hands? There we go. Let's see you point that sword at me now.
You did it, Mr. Wright! But wasn't that contradiction just a little too obvious?
You may be right.
Eh?
It would certainly appear. Now the good Inquisitor is taking this particular oversight rather too late. That is correct, Sir Apprentice Baker. But you should not underestimate me. This is perhaps your first time seeing this item. Right here is the very scepter you mentioned. Is that the Soul Edge? One of the witnesses found it tossed in the shrubbery on the side of the path. Aha, yes! Yes, indeed, that was I located it. My feet found themselves ensnared in the brass and they sent me flying through the air. Somehow I'm not surprised to hear you fell, Marius. This scepter doesn't seem to carry no sister air. Indeed, my lord. However, the scepter will only work well in the hands of a witch, with the incantation being said out loud.
Aw, that's too bad. I wanted to try lighting some stuff on fire.
No, Maya, no. Please don't look at me when you say that. You see, there are two magic gems set in this scepter. Magic gems? Looks like a red and blue gem. These gems contain a particular magic spell. By simply looking at these magic gems, one can easily determine which magic spell can be used.
Nick, quick, look at this page.
Is that the red magic gem? Indeed, the red gem you see here is the spell ignites. And if you look carefully, you should notice that this scepter also has one more spell that can be used. One more spell. It must be the white gem.
Mr. Wright, I found it! It's the spell for the white magic gem.
Demir. Vanishing spell. Cause anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant Amir to make it reappear. The spell Demir has been bookmarked. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Ugh! I see you managed to work it out. That crusty head of yours. That's just... It can't be! The reason the witch's scepter couldn't be seen is because the magic spell Demir had made it disappear. That's right, in other words. The accused conjured a cowardly spell to camouflage her own use of magic. No! No! Way! Order! Inquisitor Barnum, please submit the scepter into evidence.
Objection!
Hold on, please! There are problems. Okay, I understand this is the witch's scepter. However, whether or not the scepter was in Miss Cantabella's possession has not yet been proven. What are you talking about, Sir Prentice Bacon? Isn't it obvious? I'm talking about fingerprints. Supposing Miss Cantabella did, in fact, handle this witch's scepter, then her fingerprints should still be on it. What's with this silence? Who said fingerprints? Inquisitor Barnum, tell me, just what is this baker blabbering about? I haven't the slightest clue, my lord. It is the baker's first time in court, after all. Eh? I'm afraid it's no use, Mr. Wright. In this world, it would seem the concept of fingerprinting does not yet exist. What?! I can't believe it! As I have said already, best you head back to the bakery, lest you continue to serve this court with half-baked ideas. They're about as half-baked as your terrible puns, Barnum. The range of science does not exist here. Instead, there's a world which witches and magic are accepted as fact. Truly fascinating. Ta-da! Ah! What the hell? Just wait to me things I don't know about this world. Mr. Wright, I believe you may be able to take these things you don't know and use them to your advantage. Huh? The Inquisition believes there is no room for debate on this matter. The accused clearly attempted to conceal her magic. Mayhap your next move will not leave such a bitter taste in our mouths. Now then, my lord, I believe it is time. I ask that you render your unwavering verdict.
Objection!
Pardon the intrusion. Pardon the interruption. May I have a word, Inquisitor Barnum? What's that? Who might you be? My name is Herschel Layton. I am a friend of the accused. Inquisitor Barnum, please allow me to confirm what you believe happened on the night of the crime. You claim the witch's scepter was made to disappear through the use of magic. Is that correct? Indeed, through the magic spell Demir. If possible, would you mind proving proof of this particular claim? What? You claim the scepter was not seen. Indeed, that is one possibility. However, a wise man must always consider every possibility. What say you, Mr. Barnum? Can the Inquisition fulfill the requests presented by the gentleman with the unusual heart? The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof. If you are asserting that the accused is not a witch, then the burden of proof lies at the feet of the defender. Come on! It's the Inquisition's job to prove that a crime was committed. As as I thought. Indeed, 'twould appear the accepted method of thinking in this world greatly differs from our own. How regrettable, Sir Apprentice Baker, and you, Sir Dark Hat. Whoa! Inquisitor Barnum, sir! Should you require it, I stand ready to lend my testimony!
Would anyone care to purchase any pre-testimony flowers? I got a lovely array of bewitching lilies. Snowy and I will not be dismissed so easily. We came here to explore the identity of this witch. Isn't it right, Precious?
A witch's scepter, you say? Yes, I know of such a scepter. Allow me to elucidate the matter. What do you think, Inquisitor Barnum? Your witnesses appear to have something to say on the subject. Very well. Most honorable witnesses, I grant your request to testify once more. Tell the court all you know regarding this Taylor Magica.
Well, we've somehow managed to keep the trial going. I owe you one, Sir Dark Hat.
Please, Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton will suffice for the time being. About the Taylor Magica. I believe it's pronounced Taylor Magica. When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other.
The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorting in a strange way. I got a good look at her hand and looked for certain that she was gripping something.
The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. I see. The accused's hand was contorted in a strange way. I do believe this is quite an important piece of testimony.
I saw it. I most certainly saw it. She was holding an invisible scepter.
He saw it too. It was the girl up there without a doubt. I as well. These old eyes don't see as well as once they did, but I witnessed the hazy, blurry form of the accused quite clearly. Don't tell the court you're blind. My eyesight is as sharp as the edge of my trusty blade, and just as flimsy. Toy sword. How fascinating. Although I wonder how he understands the implication of that analogy on this issue. Sir Baker, you may proceed with your interrogation. Mr. Layton's giving me another chance. I can't let it go to waste. So you can tell me, flat out, that what you say is totally and irrefutably correct, right?
Objection!
I'm just gonna make sure. Let me back up a bit. Just to make sure. No, that's not it. No, let me back up. There it is. That's the one. So you're saying she didn't drop this? Okay. Then what do you say to this?
Objection!
There's a high probability that Miss Cantabella was not holding the scepter. But if, for the sake of argument, she had been holding it, she would undoubtedly have dropped it at the time of the incident. What do you mean? What I mean, Inquisitor Bonham, is that this lantern proves the defendant was not holding the scepter.
Objection!
What foolishness are you spouting, Sir Princess Baker? The lantern's handle was around the accused's wrist.
Objection!
Meaning she could have held the scepter? I'm afraid that's not the problem here, Inquisitor Bonham. The problem is with the broken glass and the mud plastered all over it. The rain had ended just as the murder was taking place. That would make the path fairly muddy, don't you agree? When the thieves grabbed Miss Cantabella by the arm, the lantern must have fallen into the mud. The lantern fell into the mud.
Why, of course that makes sense, doesn't it, my little snowy wolf?
Well, what do you say, Inquisitor Bonham? If she was holding the scepter at the time, that would mean when she dropped the lantern, the scepter would have fallen along with it. What's going on? Inquisitor Bonham seems vicious. The defenders managed to turn the thing around, even though he's just some baker. No way. Pay the witch's accomplices no heed. They just tried to trick you. Just what is this?
Hold it!
One moment, please. Everyone, please listen. Can we all just stand here and explain to the court what we clearly saw? It's a lantern, so what? What's so special about it? Explain it to me so I can understand.
So that you can understand? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious just by looking at it. Mr. Wright. What is it, Mr. Layton? There's something about this witness. Miss Kira, was it? Tell me, Miss Kira. How good is your eyesight exactly?
Huh?
As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Tell me, are you able to see the mud present on this lantern?
Mud? What mud? What are you talking about?
Your Honor, did you hear that just now? Yes, indeed. What does it mean exactly? It means that Miss Kira's poor eyesight is the reason she cannot see the mud present on this lantern. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best. Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? What say you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor Bonham. It's true. I need to wear glasses all the time, in fact.
You need to wear glasses?
Uh-huh. Now that you mention it, I did know something odd about you today.
Oh, I thought you were familiar. Gone is the mist that clouded my mind. It is basic clarity. Fair maiden, a pair of spectacles are as valuable as a shield to a knight. Or shoulder. Make haste and procure another pair. Now then, Miss Kira, tell me. At the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses?
No, I was not wearing them. The truth is, I lost my glasses a couple of days ago.
You lost them. So her glasses were missing during the time of the incident. Mr. Wright, may I recommend that you keep note of this fact. It could prove useful later. Got it. Glasses! Am I to believe there's nothing left to prove on this matter? At the time of the murder, the accused did not have a witch's scepter in her possession.
Hold it!
Wait just a moment, Snowy, and I have much more left to say.
That's right, my trusty sword of justice shall cut through this witch's treacherous lies.
I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify.
Child, what the fuck? Eureka! I remember now! Old age has a way of sneaking up on me. I'm sure you must understand. Yeah, I understand. I understand you're all completely ridiculous. It would seem we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict. Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court. Tell us about the scepter and how it was used in the detestable display of witchcraft that you all witnessed tonight. Continue. The girl was not holding the scepter in the same hand as the lantern, which means it must have been in her other hand.
The accused is holding a milk bucket in the court illustration. Does it say she wasn't holding the scepter in that hand? That milk bucket's lighter than looks. Even Snowy could lift it, so she could have easily held the scepter as well.
I did not see this milk bucket. Everything felt like an illusion. The scepter was in her other hand, you say? Indeed, such proposal is feasible. Sir Baker? Yes, Your Honor. It is the strangest thing. The longer this trial goes on, the more you begin to resemble a legitimate defender. Huh. Well, no matter. Defender, you may begin your interrogation. I'll see. Really?
Hold it!
Just 1 second, Miss Mary.
What is it now? Snowy and I don't have all night, you know. Come on, then out with it.
I just have one question regarding your testimony. How exactly did you know that the bucket Miss Cantabella was carrying was light enough for Snowy to carry?
You see, the girl always uses the same bucket whenever she comes to buy milk from us. Naturally, I would have seen that bucket countless times before.
You've seen it countless times before. That doesn't answer my question. You specifically said that bucket is lighter than it looks. Miss Mary, at some point tonight, you must have held that bucket yourself. Now then, please enlighten us as to exactly when you got your hands on the bucket.
It's true. By that time, Robs and mugs have already been burnt to ash. And then I noticed the milk in that bucket that the girl had been holding in her hand.
The milk.
Then when those two went up in the blaze, Snowy and I made a dash for the bucket. As the girl stood there looking confused, we took the milk from her to make sure it was okay.
Huh. Unbelievable. Witness you.
Well, it was just so wasteful. The thought of all that disgusting ash falling into such precious milk. I felt I just had to protect the milk, so I took the bucket back to the farmer.
Madam, do you mean to tell the court that you took evidence from a crime scene back home with you? That explains why we were unable to locate the milk bucket at the scene.
Oh my! You're scaring poor Snowy! Yeah, I brought the bucket with me. Anyway, see, I didn't even tamper with the milk.
I'm sure you didn't. The court shall accept this milk bucket as evidence. Pretty sure it smells like all hell right now. It's like it's all curled and shit. Looks like that's one more piece of evidence for us. Now, will the gentleman with the impressive beard proceed with his testimony? I'm sorry it's not Zuge Leon, dude. He's got an impressive beard. But he doesn't have the Guan Yu. He does not have the Guan Yu. Now that's impressive beard right there. Testimony, so there's bound to be something there. Can't believe Mary took the bucket home with her.
Miss Mary must be one of the thieving forest wolves we've been hearing about.
I just hope she doesn't need like a wolf as well, dude. For her Snowy's sake. I've got this new piece of evidence, but the question is, how can I use it?
You know, looking at this milk bucket now, it does sort of look different from the sketch, don't you think?
It might be a good idea to get a nice good look at the actual milk bucket. Really, sir? So you mean to say, you can prove with a shadow of your doubt that this is right? Can you?
Objection!
All of your testimonies have come to the same conclusion. The scepter was not in her right hand with the lantern. Therefore, it must have been in her other hand that was holding the bucket. However, that's not it. Not by a long shot. What do you mean? Contrary to what one of the witnesses stated, the milk bucket was, in fact, at the crime scene. And you'll also know something about this bucket. Take another look at the court illustration. Something about the bucket seems a bit odd, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
This illustration was based on eyewitnesses' account, so a small discrepancy or two is conceivable.
Objection!
Actually, Inquisitor Barnum, it's highly likely that this illustration is much less accurate than you think. In fact, there is a blatant contradiction present in this illustration. Admittedly, it does at first look possible that Miss Cantabella was holding the scepter and the bucket at the same time. However, if you look at the real milk bucket, that possibility goes up in smoke. Here, let's have a look at the real deal. Notice the handle. Yep. What she was holding, it had rope. This one doesn't. That cannot be! Oh, but it is. This particular milk bucket has two pieces of wood on either side of the handle. If you were to try and hold both the scepter and this bucket, well, let's just say that'd be a challenge. To put simply, there's no way anyone could hold both the bucket and scepter at once. What? That must be clearly you have the wrong bucket.
We never lie when it comes to milk. That is the very bucket I took.
Looks like the witnesses are all surprised about this as well. The defendant couldn't have been able to hold the bucket and the scepter at once. Also, we have already established that she was not holding a scepter in her right hand. Therefore, the defendant, Miss Espella Cantabella, was not holding a witch's scepter at any point during the incident. Order! Order! I said order. Just what is the meaning of this? In all my days as judge of this court, I've never heard such an argument. These are but paltry set of words, and yet they ring with such remarkable strength. Your Honor, what you just heard was logic. Logic, you see.
What is with these two? They just silence Inquisitor Barnum? A mere words? Such foolishness. This must be some type of witchcraft.
Wait, do you think?
Could they be witches?
It would seem that the concept of logic does not exist in this world.
Right, now let's take the chance to knock their case down a peg or two.
I'm worried if we keep this up, we'll all be joining Espella in a one-way trip to the flames.
Objection!
Most intriguing. A knight allows his sword to speak for him during battle. You have spoken with a sword of words. It's backwards, see? So be it. I too shall wield such a blade. What do you mean? Sir Blue Knight, there appears to be a hole in this logic of yours. A hole. According to the earlier testimony, it was believed that the accused had a lantern hanging from her wrist by the handle. However, she supposedly dropped it, hence it being covered in blood. That's right. While that may be true, it does not necessarily mean The accused was therefore unable to use magic. It is merely a question of when she dropped the witch's scepter. What do you mean, Inquisitor Bonham? It's very simple. The accused, while first holding the lantern and the witch's scepter, cast her magic. Then she dropped both the lantern and the scepter. Oh. The witch's scepter was dropped after the spell was finished. Oh, of course. Yes. That must be it. What say you, Sir Blue Knight? That is but a taste of the nightly knowledge of the Inquisition.
Sir Bottom cut through that baker's witchery like a hot knife through butter.
Except I expected nothing left from the hand of Bond.
To be able to shake that powerful hand someday.
Bullshit! Bullshit!
That Inquisitor
Isn't quite what he first appeared. Yeah, it sure seems that way. Just a moment ago, it seemed like he never even heard of a logical debate. Now he's suddenly using it against us. This guy's no joke, that's for sure. Now then, most honorable witnesses, I ask that you lend us your aid once more with the Hail Maker! I request that you all testify to the court once more. Tell us which occurred first, the dropping of the lantern or the casting of the spell. Witnesses, you may begin your testimonies. Tell this court, in your own words, about the sequence of events which transpired tonight. About the sequence of events. Of course, the lantern fell to the ground after the incantation of Ignites. Sploosh!
I'm sure Snowy is right. I made certain to keep my eyes peeled to that milk bucket after all. Besides, how can you be so sure the lantern fell just because it has a little mud on it?
These eyes do not lie. I saw the lantern in the accused's hands when the incantation was uttered. I'm sure it was. Figures. Their testimonies are all over the place now. These full testimonies, they are most interesting. The witnesses all saw the same thing, and yet people's memories are evidently quite fickle. They can never be a truly reliable source.
Well then, Professor, with enough poking and prodding, I bet we can really cause their testimonies to crumble.
Of course. We need to exploit their fickle memories to turn this thing around.
We've got this, Nick. We'll press them so hard they won't even remember what they had for breakfast.
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. Now, Sir Baker, you may begin your interrogation. Again. Alright, okay. Let's see. Let's see how it goes.
Hold it!
The lantern fell after the incantation. Are you positive about that? I say I am positively positive that I am positive. I heard her voice and then sploosh. that sploosh was the sound of the lantern hitting the ground. Indeed, but of course, do you see? But if you look at the lantern, you'll notice that the glass is shattered. You specifically said you heard a sploosh. Shouldn't you have heard the sound of the glass shattering when it hit the ground? The sound of the glass shattering? No, I'm afraid I failed to catch your drift. I was present in an area a bit farther away from crimes, you see. I've no recollection of hearing such a sound. No recollection. Precisely so. I'll have you know I can easily hear a dog bark across town. Do not underestimate my hearing. I wasn't. Relax, Grandpa. There's nothing of interest in his testimony. With a witness with the goat, please proceed with our testimony.
Why? You mean us? You startled us, did you, Snowy? What do you think, Nick? Did you notice anything fishy?
Yeah, possibly. I think there may have been something I could use.
Really? Well, how? I didn't hear anything special.
I saw it. There was definitely something out of place about that one witness testimony. It was something I haven't noticed from any of the other witnesses so far. It appears you may have found something, Mr. Wright. A 4-witness cross-examination. This is something I've never done before. But then, maybe there's another way I should be tackling this. I believe it is worth trusting that intuition, Mr. Wright. Okay, got it. Alright, let's try pressing that old man one more time.
Hold it!
If you look at the lantern, you'll notice that the glass is shattered. You specifically said you heard a sploosh. I'm afraid the sound of glass shattering. No, I'm afraid I failed to catch. I failed to catch your drift.
Hold it!
There it is. Right there. I knew I heard something strange.
But the old graybeard didn't say anything weird.
Maya, it's not the old guy that said something weird. It's the person next to him.
Next to him? Oh, look there, Professor, the goat lady. She looks very difficult.
It would seem.
She has nothing.
She has noticed something odd in this elderly gentleman's testimony.
That's right. These cross-examinations have 4 witnesses. Hey, Nick, it looks like we're not the only ones paying attention to these testimonies.
You're right, which means if they all listen, they're all listening to each other's testimonies. Correct, Mr. Wright. Each witness is fully aware of themselves and their own actions when in the middle of their own testimonies. However, it is while listening to the testimonies of others that the witnesses may sometimes reveal the most valuable information. I see. It's habitual. They can't tell they're doing it, but I can. And I'm going to use it to turn the tide back in our favor. In fact, I do believe I may have spotted our first opening in which to test this new technique. Mr. Wright, could I draw your attention to the touch screen? Uh-huh. Sliding the magnifying glass during the witness testimony will allow you to shift your focus across to another witness. Yeah, this happened before. In a previous game, I believe I believe Great Ace Attorney did this. Great Ace Attorney did do this. I remember. Right. So the important thing here is the witness that mid-testimony is the other 3 witnesses listening. It's just a matter of catching them off guard and questioning them.
What are you waiting for, Nick? Let's give it a shot. How about we try questioning the goat lady next to old Greybeard?
Okay, all I have to do is slide the magnifying glass over to that witness.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Mary.
Do you mean us? But Snowy and I have nothing else to say.
I knew it. I caught her completely by surprise. Mr. Wordsmith just gave his testimony. He told us all about the sound he heard when the lantern fell to the ground. Mr. Wordsmith didn't seem too sure. But I wonder if you might happen to have something to say about this.
That's it.
Is that all right, Sir Barnum? May we answer the question?
Do what you will, madam. There's no need for formalities. Huh.
Well, we try and explain, won't we, Snowy? The truth is, we did hear something. That is to say, we heard the sound of the lantern's glass shattering. We're sure of it. It was frightening loud. It's quite stardust, really, so, dear. I looked in the direction of the sound, but I couldn't see anything, let alone the girl, those 2 thieves. It's so dark after all.
When the glass shattered, the flame inside must have gone out, and she could not see them. That seems to be the gist of it.
Then, as I peered into the darkness, I heard it.
You heard it. What did you hear exactly?
You know, that I heard. The incantation for the spell ignites.
What did you just say? Now hold it right there, witness.
Yes, my lord.
The glass shattered when the lantern fell, and after that you heard the incantation for the spell ignites. Do you swear to this court that this is, without a doubt, correct?
Maybe.
How about my testimony? What of my oratorical observation? That the blast of spell ignites occurred first, that then the lantern plummeted to the ground.
I heard no such thing, and there was no sound of shattering glass.
Absurd. Simply absurd. So the lantern fell and the glass shattered. that doesn't change the very fact that this girl's a witch.
Objection!
I hate to disappoint you, but that's not quite the case. In fact, this testimony changed a lot. Wouldn't you agree, Inquisitor Bottom? What is the meaning of this? Let's go over what we know so far. In order for a witch to use any magic, they must be holding a witch's scepter. And yet none of the 4 witnesses saw the defendant holding a scepter of any kind. That's because the scepter was made to disappear with the spread Demir. Right? Correct? At the time of the crime, the 2 victims grabbed Miss Canterville's arm, causing her to drop the lantern onto the ground. If at the time she was in fact holding an invisible scepter, then the scepter must have fallen when she dropped the lantern. Now, let's say hypothetically that Miss Canterville really is a witch. In order to use any magic, she would have had to recite the spell before dropping the scepter. In order to use any magic, she would have had to recite the spell before dropping the scepter. However, as our witness, Miss Mary, has just stated in her testimony, she heard the incantation for Ignites after hearing the lantern's glass shatter. You do all understand what that means, don't you? It means that Miss Cantabella, the supposed witch you locked up, could not possibly have cast any magic. Therefore, the defendant, Espella Cantabella, is clearly in no way, shape, or form a witch. Oh! The fuck? Such emotion! Do you read anything? Do you read anything? She's not a witch.
Such nonsense. Did any of you even listen to my testimony? We did, but you're wrong. There's no glass shattering. Are you calling me a liar, Missy? You can't even see the bottom of the lantern when it was plain as day.
What ridiculous claims, all of you?
Oh, hush! Taking a toy so I go back to playing pretend Silent Night.
Hey, Micah! Witnesses, this is a court of law, not a playground. Must I remind you of the importance of these proceedings? Witches and the magic threaten our fair town of Labyrinthia. Your words here today could decide the fate of every single citizen within our walls. Do you understand? As such, I expect each of you to take your role seriously and testify honestly about what you saw. That shut them up, didn't it? In all my days as a judge of this court, I've never seen such behavior that leaves a cloud of doubt over the credibility of each of your testimonies. Indeed, my lord, quite a miserable set of witnesses this lot. I see. It would appear this trial has come to a sudden halt. So that must mean... Quite right. It means you have won this trial, Mr. Wright. Won. I can hardly believe the situation we have found ourselves in. I did not anticipate this trial ending with such a strange turn of events. But due to these witnesses' dubious credibility, I can see no reason to continue. What say you, Espella? As you wish, my lord.
What's going on? They're actually going to let this witch run free through the town?
Curse if this wasn't for that witch and her friends.
Hold it! Wait a blooming second. This trial ain't even close to being over. Not before I take the stand to testify!
Okay.
Order! Order! Who is this buffoon?
Behold! Who am I, you ask? Who am I? Why?
I am drunk as a skunk.
I'm the man that's gonna single-handedly save this trial on the fifth witness!
God damn, how much beer you got in that mug, bruh?
Say, what?
What?
Maybe Barnum didn't see this one coming.
Just as I thought, this trial's going down the drain before I got here. Okay, you lot, assemble. Wait there, strategy meeting accept. I say, who are you?
Thank goodness you showed up. We can't give up now, everyone.
You have a centaur. It has come to this. Twums, everyone! We shall do battle against that baker and that hat setter.
I can't believe this.
What the hell's going on? Should be fascinating. Seems a new witness has taken the stand. What's more, it appears to be quite the formidable witness. Well, I guess. This trial is still far from over. So, yeah, I am definitely going to do that. I'm going to not only save, but I'm going to just do a backup. Drop the save. And just do this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop right here. And in the next part, we deal with part 2 of the Fire Witch. So stay tuned. More. Of this case, right after this. Don't you dare miss it.